Greetings, Skylords. To spawn units, buildings, and spells on the battlefield, we use a resource called power. In this video, we will tackle how power, and especially void power, works. The primary way to obtain power is through power wells. You can construct additional wells on the map for the cost of 100 power. As long as the well doesn't run out, it will provide a slow but steady income of 1 power every 2 seconds. In the top corner, you can see how many wells are currently providing you with power. The second way is to reclaim it from the void. Whenever you cast spells, your units die, or your buildings are destroyed, a portion of the power used to play the card is automatically recycled and added to the void pool, typically 90%. This power is then slowly returned to you over time at a rate of 2% every 2 seconds, so the more void power you have built up, the faster it flows back to you. You can see this rate at the top corner as well. Let's explain void power with an example. When you have 100 power available, you can summon a unit like the Tremor. By doing so, your available power from the power pool is reduced by 100. The void power pool is not impacted and stays at 0. If the Tremor dies, 90% of its cost will be put into the void power pool. While not immediately available, this power will slowly return to you, allowing you to play out new cards. Spells are an exception to this rule. 90% of their power cost will immediately enter the void pool upon being cast instead. Because of this system, we say units and buildings are binding power in Skylords Reborn. After all, your Tremor is not providing you with any power income while it's alive. However, if your army of 10 Tremors die, you will find yourself with 900 void power. Bound power is not bad. After all, you need units to defeat your enemies. In contrast with other RTS games, it can be wise to kill your own weaker and lower tier units once the game progresses, to make their power available to play stronger units and spells. The same is true for defenses and walls you no longer need. Exceptions to this are units that don't bind any power because they were summoned by an ability. This mechanic, where you actually only lose 10% of your power, means that, in most cases, the longer a game goes on, the higher the available power of all players is. It also means that losing your whole army does not mean you are out of the game yet. It is worth noting that this 90% 10% rule also applies to abilities. Activating Jorn's Hammer with a cost of 100 power will put 90 power into the void pool. There are exceptions to this rule, however. Toggle abilities like mode switching will transfer the full power cost back into the void pool. The same is true for the cost of repairing buildings and destroyed walls. Destroyed monuments and power wells don't return any power to the void pool, resulting in a permanent power loss, so protect them at all costs. Mastering both power and void power is a crucial part of Skylords Reborn, and there are multiple cards that are affected by it or impact it directly. It takes 200 seconds until a power well pays off the 100 power investment and starts to generate profit. The card Resource Booster increases the return rate, but at the cost of the power well draining through its max resource faster. Juice Tank, on the other hand, prolongs the duration of the power well, allowing for more power during longer games. Players looking to increase their void power return rate should take a look at the Shrine cards, like Shrine of War, Memory, or Martyrs. The Shadow faction can also greatly increase void return through the card Furnace of Flesh. Lastly, there are also cards that care about the available void power, such as Time Vortex or Backlash. We hope you got a better picture of the power system and the flow of power in Skylords Reborn. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. See you in the Forge, fellow Skylords!